Hey, this is Walter Jones.
This is Austin St. John.
And you're listening to Ranger Danger.
Go, go,
Alien.
Go, go,
Alien.
Go, go,
Alien.
Danger. Matt and Michael's Ranger
Alien.
Danger.
Welcome once again to Mighty Morphin Alien Ranger Danger, the podcast where, my God, it's full of stars. And one of those stars is Lauren.
Woo!
Lauren, woo! Lauren's here, and Michael and I are here as well.
Hey guys, how are you? Nice.
They can't enter.
I just assume you're all doing well.
It's a one-way.
Even if they weren't doing well, now they're listening to us. It's all good.
I hope that's true, for everybody's sake.
Yeah.
Today on the podcast, we're going to be watching an episode of Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers. It's called...
Wait, are we on different...
Yes, we are. We'll get to
Whoa,
that.
Okay.
This
Cool.
one is called Attack of the 60-Foot Bulk. I, for one, am very excited to see Bulk grow another 58 feet. I don't know where they'll all be, but it's going to be a hot mess.
That's not what that means. I don't think. I mean, if I can be perfectly honest, I wouldn't rule that out.
Can we place bets now?
What else could it be?
Height. Americans use a dumb system to measure things.
It's not a dumb
Wow.
system. It makes a lot of sense,
They use-
especially in
they use-
competitive show jumping.
They use feet?
Yeah. So
Where do they get all the feet from?
it's 12 inches, and each inch is 2.25 centimeters.
Oh, yeah, that's great. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
It's actually 2.54 centimeters.
Well, sorry.
254 millimeters.
Serious question.
Yeah.
Why is America still doing this?
Tradition?
Okay.
Do you mean this measurement or just this?
Why are they still doing America?
No. There's lots of America that I love.
Including many of you listeners.
That's right.
Most of you. Like, it's basically all of
Definitely.
the Americans we love are purely our listeners. There's no others. It's just...
Definitely a hard 65% of our American listeners I'm a fan of.
I'm a fan of all of them. Yeah.
That's because you're a sycophant.
I am.
Lauren.
I am so sycophantic.
So 60 feet of bulk that's going to happen in our eyes. I'm excited. So we are, Lauren, as you observed earlier,
Yeah.
in a brand new season.
Yeah, so aliens.
That's right. They are the Alien Rangers.
Are they Zords aliens?
I guess.
Not really.
I mean, they are alien.
Yeah.
They're not aliens. They're not from Earth.
Okay, sure. Well, they're
But-
alien. Yeah.
But they're not, like, living, so I guess they're not aliens. They're not biological, I guess is what I'm saying.
The Power Rangers are. The Zords aren't.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like we should just not give Lauren any more context.
You know, I think she should just have to watch it and discover...
I'm not going to understand it, no matter how much context you give me anyways.
I should mention, this is episode 5 of Alien Rangers.
Yeah.
So we're nearly halfway done.
Yeah, after this...
So there's only 10 episodes.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a roaring success.
No, it was intended. It's a mini-series, basically.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't speak to whether or not it was a roaring success, though.
It certainly doesn't feel like it's been a roaring success.
Yeah. There's certainly been peaks and valleys.
I think if episode 5 is Attack of the 60-Foot Bulk, like, I'm sort of getting a feel of what this mini-series is like.
Oh, you're not even close.
All right.
It's...
Can I tell Lauren one thing that happened either last week or the week before?
Go, Matt, please, go for it.
You know the power coins, they give the Power Rangers their powers?
Yeah.
Goldar held some up in each hand, and then Rita appeared on top of like one giant gas cylinder, I guess, and Lord Zed on another, and they used their wands to blast the power coins, which got obliterated and turned into dust, and Goldar opened his hand and just pushed that out into the wind, and that was the end of the power coins.
Oh. So Golta actually did something useful for a change?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goldar was involved in something.
Well, he held the coins. Like...
He didn't drop them, so I guess there's that. So
He
it's a
didn't
low
drop
bar,
them,
Goldar.
Or, like, hold them above one of the Rangers' head, taunting them in his sex dungeon. So, like, he's
Yeah.
improving.
Yeah.
He's learning.
I'm not trying to say that.
Yeah, I don't, definitely.
I feel like it was more just a fluke.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so midway through this strange and wonderful mini-season, the power source of the Power Rangers was completely destroyed.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
I genuinely have no, like, I have a vague guess of the direction we're headed,
They've just got spare ones.
but
Just in the back cupboard.
Yeah.
Like this episode will start with Alpha 60 being like, it's a good thing I have these spares. Like,
Here's some I prepared earlier.
yeah, no, that's...
it's going to be interesting to see where they go. So I guess we'll just jump straight to it.
Yeah, no news or anything this week?
Don't think so.
No.
I mean, that'll sound weird because this episode will go out when there will probably been a ton of news at Power Morphicon, but we are getting a little ahead.
Whereabouts is Power Morphicon?
In America.
Yeah, I figured. Where in them?
In California.
Yeah, nice.
Somewhere in California.
To California, here we come.
We should do an OC podcast.
Why?
Because it's a great show, okay? It is a great show.
I would do a season of the OC podcast.
Which season?
The first one.
I like the second.
I have no strong feelings about any of the seasons of the OC.
Because the second has lesbians in it.
I mean, I'm on board,
For the
in
lesbians.
theory at least.
There was also weirdly on-point comic book references.
Yes.
Well, isn't Rachel Bilson's father was the showrunner of the 1990s Flash series?
What?
And wrote...
Really?
Yeah, I'm absolutely certain that that's true.
I'm having trouble
And,
even picturing right now.
wrote a run on the Flash in, I want to say, the mid-2000s when the OC was a thing.
That's
Okay.
amazing. We definitely have to do the OC now.
Okay, I
No,
feel
we
like
don't,
that's
though.
a large step, but I will fact-check that and put a link in the show notes.
Okay. Fact-checking, because we are a journalistic podcast.
We are, that's true.
In the meantime, let's go watch Attack of the 60-Foot Bulk, and we will see you in just a moment. Then we're back. That sure was an episode of television.
Yep. Was
So-
it though?
Before we get to the episode, Lauren, what's different?
Well, I mean, from the very... I think, my first words were, what the fuck, when I saw that they were young Rangers.
Oh, yeah, they're kids now.
Yeah, I was like, they're children. Yeah, so that's one. One difference is that the Rangers are young.
Yep,
The other difference are they don't have any powers,
yep.
which I knew going in. Billy, for some inexplicable reason, is still old.
Yeah, well, he managed to use his robot to...
They couldn't find a good enough young Billy, clearly.
No, they had one for a bit.
There was a young
Was he
Billy.
good?
He was as good as the rest of them.
Yeah, so he was terrible. Yeah.
I still maintain that some of them are better than their adult counterparts at acting.
Which ones?
I think definitely the one who plays Tommy.
He's really good. Yeah,
compared
he's
to-
actually really good. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I actually was watching him going yeah, he's quite convincing.
I would say the kid who plays Rocky is on par.
I want to punch him in his little kid face, and that's
He
pretty
has
good.
a mullet.
because-
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has a dirty mullet.
Yeah, of course, because it's Rocky as
I
a
know,
kid.
Yeah.
The kid who plays Aisha,
Yes.
So awkward.
not great, but he's giving it her best.
She is, but it's just watching children actors. There's just something and watching a lot of children actors at once. There's something very awkward about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there sure is.
The other difference was they were at the water park. They weren't at the juice bar or
Yeah.
the school. I was.
Yeah, well, they're not at... So,
They can't be at the school because they're not high schoolers.
no, so it's back in time, except that's been incredibly poorly handled consistently throughout the past
So
6
it's a time
episodes.
that still has a water park.
There's still water parks now.
Yeah, no, I didn't say. Yeah,
I don't...
but when was the first water park?
Oh, they're only back in time to, when they were kids.
Oh,
They're not, back in time in the, 1920s.
Yeah,
They're back in time
thanks,
in,
Thank you.
Well, I mean, Lauren, I don't know what you're thinking.
I got it. It's good.
Okay.
Yeah,
How do you guys feel about water parks?
I hate water parks.
I love
That
water parks.
surprises me too.
Yeah, no, I didn't say that expecting you to be like, wow, Michael, really?
Water parks are the best.
They're
fun.
not the best.
They are
so
the best.
Much
They're-
fun.
they're-
We should go to one.
Yeah, we should go to one. Have you been to Wet n Wild in Sydney?
Not been to Wet n Wild Sydney yet.
We've got a new major water park in Sydney and I haven't been yet.
Yeah,
so-
it's. But it just makes me sad about Wonderland. I don't know.
It's come back apparently.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, Wonderland's coming back.
Record scratch.
Nice. Okay. But we should do Wet n Wild
Yes.
and Wonderland
In one day.
in one day.
I don't think you can do them in one day.
Challenge accepted.
I mean, even just logistically, like I think they're quite far from each other.
No, they're not. I think they'll be quite close.
Isn't
Yeah.
Wonderland? Will they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well there you go. Maybe you can do them both in one day. Congratulations.
Thank you.
This is neither of those. This is Splash City.
Yeah. It reminds me a lot, actually, of less like Wet n Wild, which is very like high
Jamboree.
caliber. Yeah. Or there was a water park in Canberra that I used to
really?
frequent on occasion.
What was
Oh.
it called, mate?
Big Splash,
Big Splash.
I believe,
It makes me think of Jamboree.
where you control the action.
Where I control the action.
Yeah, you have to be in control of the action, Jamboree.
Oh, yeah.
None of our listeners get that.
No.
No.
Can we put a link to the
Oh, I've
ads?
already written Jamboree to put it.
Good, yeah.
Jamboree is a water park in Australia.
It's not exclusively a water park. It's
Oh, yeah.
it's-
They do,
it's
like-
got like go-kart. No, go-karts. It's got
The like bobsleds that aren't on ice,
bobsleds that are on
What do you
ice.
call those?
Yeah, I don't know, but they're terrible.
metal tube. Oh, I like those.
I don't like how you have to walk like all the way up the hill carrying one of them. that
Anyway,
was
its
awful.
catchphrase is Jamboree, where you control the action.
And you control the action.
What I love about those metal bobsleds is how you can control the speed.
Yeah, true.
And the action.
Did you go there as part of Wyndham's, our schools? Oh, they didn't roll it out. So in Australia, well, in New South Wales at least, where we are, you have to have a certain amount of sports hours in every school year in order to qualify to pass into the next year.
Sure.
And
The bane of my existence.
Right.
Yes, I understand.
in my school, we went to a senior college and we had no mandatory PE.
Yep.
And their way of getting around this was we had one day at the local pool. We had a day where we had to walk around an oval. Like, you could run if you wanted to, but most people just walked. And the other was going to Jamboree. So we went to Jamboree. as
That's
part
the
of our-
best way.
It's the best
time
sport.
in.
And, like, because you go, like, midweek, it's just you there.
Yeah,
like, I went on the Taipan ride 11 times in a row without lining up. It was the most beautiful day of my senior education.
That sounds fantastic.
It sounds like exactly what they were intending when they mandated a certain number of sports hours.
Yeah.
Especially the walking in a circle all day. That definitely sounds like a
It
productive
wasn't
use
all
of
day. It
everyone's
was
time.
half an hour. Like, all day would have been actual, like, physical exercise.
Walking around in a circle is the most hilariously literal interpretation of that brief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, you have to get the kids moving. It's like, all right, just walk around circles.
Keep walking. You can't
See the
stop
oval?
walking.
Just keep
Keep
going.
walking. It wasn't even the oval. It was like this we didn't even have an oval. That's what our school was like. It was so not sporty.
Did you have like a circle instead?
No, but there was like a back paddock. Like, it was just like, we were like semi-rural.
I'm imagining like 6 cows confused by 100 students. Just like 2 of them are running for some reason because they're like,
Because they want to win. Yeah.
Those cows would be freaking out.
What is happening?
Can you imagine if you're walking through a field one day and 100 cows started just circling you?
But you walked in that field every day.
Yeah.
Just once a year.
Yeah.
Once a year.
Yeah, well, you know, those cows have to get their hours in.
Yeah, they got to pass the HSC.
You got to be careful of that cownado.
Oh, dear.
Okay, this got off.
So, water parks and roller coasters are the best.
So we're at Splash City
Yeah.
with, for some reason, Mr. Wilton.
Yeah! This is like they keep
is that guy?
breaking their own rules.
So he was on the show like once or twice. He's a teacher at the high school.
What does he teach?
Science,
yes.
I think.
Yeah.
Because all the Power Rangers got turned into beakers full of different colours.
Oh my
water.
god, that's so beautiful. Have I not seen this episode?
You don't want to.
Yeah, it was terrible. Was that Marvo the Meanie? He got turned into a monster?
I think so.
Yeah. But so,
This sounds like the episode that Tim made up for the trivia we did
a
last
lot
year.
of them sound like episodes we
Yeah,
made up.
yeah.
It's not a good
It's
show.
not a good show. Yeah.
But so, he hasn't appeared for
A while.
30 episodes, maybe, maybe more. He hasn't been on the show.
In a long
He's
time.
not like a recurring character. This is like his 3rd appearance. And he should be younger.
Yeah, so the conceit that they set up
Oh,
was
right.
that everyone got de-aged X amount of years. But
It's
now
like 10
this guy...
years? 15?
I mean,
See-
maybe he was already like 40-something.
Maybe he
and
just
now he's
ages really
30-something
well.
And like,
The thing is, you know Lieutenant Stone, who's like Bulk and Skull's drill sergeant, police captain guy? You might not have met him.
I don't think I've met him.
So
Oh,
he's-
no, I do. I have met him once. Yeah.
He looks like he's in his like mid-40s, right?
Yeah.
Maybe somewhere in his 30s. The Rangers got turned from teens to 8, 9-year-olds.
closer to 10.
He got turned from his age to child age.
What?
So
The show, look, we could sit here and try and explain it, but the show is so inconsistent.
it doesn't care, so we can't figure it out. There's nothing to figure out.
But it's just, he looks exactly the same as the last time we saw him. Also, in theory, for everyone, like, it is a decade ago for everyone. It's just that the Power Rangers remember, like,
Their own
the
what's happened.
rest of what's happened.
They've got their memories.
But so why would the science teacher from the local high school
Know them.
know them,
Yeah.
be at the water
Yeah,
park
like what
with
is he
them?
teaching the primary school at this point? Like, I don't think that's how teaching works. Like, you teach primary school for X amount of years and evolve to teach high school.
Yeah, like,
that's
it's
not
like being in school.
Yeah. They go with them. You start with the same teachers in kindy, and you graduate
That's
with them.
why we need lots of teachers, because after they've been doing
They
it for 12
die.
years... Whoa, okay. I was going to use the word graduate there.
No,
but-
they die.
Yeah, they graduate to behind the chemical shed.
That's why I stopped being a teacher. When I found out about this during my prac, I freaked and ran, like as any normal person would.
So, Mr. Wilton's presence is inexplicable for narrative reasons, and also inexplicable for production reasons.
Yeah, they just like couldn't get anyone else.
Like, why is he... But he doesn't need to be there.
No, I get having... He doesn't need to be there.
Yeah, like
But as
Haley
a,
could
like-
have just taken them to the water park. Why does it have to be with the teacher?
But Bulk and Skull were there.
Yeah, but like, don't kids just do shit
If this
on the
was just
weekends?
like it's Saturday and they're all at the water park...
Yeah, it's like a
Yeah.
brand new water park. Everyone is there.
I get it.
Maybe he, like, needed health insurance or something, and they were like, he's a guy who they know, and they're like, yeah, come on, do another episode. As long as you get 3 lines, you get equity or something.
Or he's screwing someone.
Michael, what's
one of the
equity?
writers.
I don't know, it's a thing.
Yeah, I thought so.
Look, I did not say it with any degree of confidence, okay? I was very clear as I put the words out that I was being vague. Anyway, Billy has to use the communicator
Yes.
because he wants to check on the Equations. They have nearly finished rehydrating. So, Lauren, the Equations are the Alien Rangers.
Yeah, and they're terrible.
They're great.
Well, they're great when they're rangers. When they're not rangers, they
They're
are
excellent.
lame. They
They're
are
excellent.
so lame.
I have a question.
Yeah.
The Equations.
Yep.
Why are they not from Aquisha?
Where are they from?
Aquita.
Fuck off.
Well, it's like French people aren't from French or France. They're from France.
No.
Yeah. Italian people aren't from Italia.
Well, it
Yeah,
used to be.
That's not how that
Yeah.
works.
Well, but
Like Romans were from.
But they're not from
Roma.
Italia either.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You don't change the emphasis of the syllables or the vowels based on whether it's the place or the
Like
people.
Australians are from Australia.
Yeah.
Americans, like you are pointing out the
Yeah.
rare exceptions to the rule.
Okay, but I'm saying there are exceptions. They're aliens. Maybe their adjective construction is different to ours.
Then I hate them because they're different.
Yeah.
Okay, that's space racist or spacist.
Racist. Yeah.
So they're nearly rehydrated, proving how dumb this entire plot point is. Because at the end
Well,
of...
they have to justify why they can't just help all
No,
the
that's the
time.
thing.
They don't, though.
At the end of last episode, the whole deal was we have to go back to our planet to recharge. Here, as soon as they are needed, they
have
immediately
finished.
return.
Alright, fair enough.
There's no advantage to them
Yeah.
being...
There's no like, hang on, guys, they're coming. It's just like, oh, good, we like that's timely.
I also don't think it adds the narrative tension they think it does. Like, I don't care that they need to rehydrate. No one thinks that they're going to shrivel up and die on the show.
I'd
There's-
like to see it just to see what it
Whoa.
was.
No, I understand.
No, I'm just intrigued. I'm intrigued to see what happens.
But it's
But
a,
does it have to be they rehydrate from their own water? Because
Yes,
okay,
they can't use earth water
Alright, 'cause
because
I
it
was
is filled
like-
with pollutants.
except for the time they did.
oh.
Yeah, except for the time they did because it was a great fountain.
It was a pretty good fountain.
So the
Look, this
big
is
is it called Big Splash or is that the one you went? to?
That's
Splash
my one.
City.
Splash City. It's inferior water. Is what
This
you're
season
saying.
has been going for 5 episodes and it already doesn't know its own rules. And the Alien Rangers weren't even in the first one.
Having said that, having been a swimming teacher for a decent amount of time, I will say that water that has kids in it
Oh, yeah, no.
is much lower quality than regular water.
Ugh. Speaking of things that have kids in them, it's important for the Power Rangers to be at Splash City.
Yep.
Because as Zordon says, their bodies and emotions are much younger and in need of physical release.
What?
Oh, buddy.
Like,
Buddy, you didn't even have to justify it.
No.
If
he
they
could
got-
have just said, like, Billy, why don't you go take their minds off things?
Yeah.
Like,
if we-
that's it. I've made it instantly less creepy with one sentence.
No one should use the phrase "in need of physical release"
In reference to children.
ever, really.
Yeah,
but
ever.
especially in reference to a group of children.
Yeah.
It's just buddy,
No good.
no bad Zordon,
No bueno.
bad Zordon. So on the moon, we get some progress.
Yeah.
They found an ancient scroll map that leads to beneath the command center, where there are inexplicable tunnels.
There's a lot inexplicable about that. Why does Zordon, who presumably was responsible for the construction of the command center,
Yep.
Have maps that they have their hands on?
yeah, why did they just leave that on the moon? Because they make it sound like we were digging around downstairs.
Yep.
And we found a map to the command center.
Maybe it's when he and Rita are on better terms and he sent it as like an invitation, like,
Ah,
come to my pad.
I
And
see.
she was like,
Come in the tunnels.
yeah, come in the tunnels, yeah. And like, and she was really like not feeling it. She kind of just threw it over her shoulder. Moon dust settled, and they've stumbled across it.
Well, she was playing hard to get.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She knows how to do it.
Yeah. He's got to come to her tunnels.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
right.
No.
Or in them.
No.
Yay.
No. What is happening to this podcast? We're only like 15 minutes in. This is going to be insane. Okay, so basically, several episodes ago, Rito and Goldar took a bomb, put it out the front, and the plan was that they were going to blow the shit out of the command center.
Jesus.
Alpha 5 diffused it in what was maybe the best sequence this show has ever produced.
Yeah, probably the best in Power Rangers history.
Wow.
He got sweaty and had to wipe off with a windscreen wiper.
Oh,
It was-
that's beautiful.
it's so
I'm going to go
good.
back and watch this
Yeah.
when you guys go.
Genuinely excellent.
Ah,
but so
great.
they've revised that plan.
Yep.
I kind of dig that.
You say
Well,
revives
they're still
like it
working
was...
on it, is the point. They haven't abandoned it. They've realised if they go to the source of the power, they can destroy the Power Rangers. That's kind of smart. That's...
Yeah, kind of, but you make it sound like they were committed and stuck to their plan.
Yeah.
When really what happened was they happened to come across a map that
Even
reminded them of the
fine,
plan.
Fine, yeah.
Sure.
That
At
like
least they didn't forget about the plan like they normally do.
with this, the bar is set so low.
So low.
They've had 150 episodes to just keep lowering it.
Yeah.
Is there much like Rita and Lord Zed fan fiction?
Of course.
I'm just saying.
I
I
bet
think they're
it's-
really cute together.
Okay.
I don't like the stroking of the brain. Just don't stroke brains.
That's
This is
a
a
good... That's good.
Good life rule.
I reckon that's
yeah.
being pretty spacist again.
And on top of that, to distract the Power Rangers, they're going to make a monster.
Yeah,
A brat, just like they are.
Look,
they did not earn this one.
one thing I don't like. They're in a really weakened state.
The Power Rangers, yes.
Yeah, like they have no powers. They're children.
Yep.
They don't even have their karate skills. Like
Yep.
they're pretty useless. But they've got like Billy's there, but they're in a lot of trouble. Why didn't you just send a monster that nearly beat them in the past, like as full, like an actual good monster, like not the brat who was just. We'll get to it, but like is terrible.
I mean, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's... Who knows, is the answer.
Yeah.
Who knows? I mean, to be fair, Rito once destroyed 2 Megazords.
Exactly. And just send Rito down.
No, they did that, and he got food thrown at him, so he ran off the bus and then got caught in a net.
Not
I
exaggeration.
mean, to be fair, if you look at the track record, I can understand how they would go, okay, if we send Piranha's head again, he's just going to get shat on and turned into sushi. Like, it's just not worth the risk.
Of using our good monsters.
Yes.
Yeah, they have one good run and then we retire them.
So the kids are playing at the water park, and so is Mr. Wilton.
So creepy.
Does he show up again after this shot of him?
No, there's just a reference to him, but I don't.
yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think you
Like-
see him again.
What is going on?
That's a
He
good
just really
paycheck.
wanted to go to the water park, or they went to the water park to film, and he just happened to be. Like,
I like that
this is
theory.
a mad coincidence.
I also like the theory that they just paid him in admission to the water park. Because he's in
He was
like
the only person
two
who would
scenes.
walk for that, like work for that low. Like
Yeah.
everyone, all the other teachers they called were like, "No, you have to pay me money." And they're
Actual
like,
money.
Yeah, and he's
Yeah.
like, "Splash City."
Yeah. I'm sorry, did you say Splash City? Because I love Splash City.
I'm already wearing my water trunks. Like,
Can I just say, I'm looking at the actor who played Mr. Wilton's IMDb page.
does he
Yeah.
age?
It includes an appearance in Star Trek First Contact as a Borg,
Oh,
and an episode of Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
as a pork.
No, as head guard, who I assume is the head of the guards and not guarding a head.
Or a guard that is a head.
But other than that, look, an episode of Jag, an episode of Seventh Heaven.
Ooh.
Seventh Heaven.
Other than those things,
Yeah.
it's a lot of things with
Can
very...
we just pause on Seventh Heaven?
Sure.
I watched a lot of that as a child and like became
Were
very.
you really into Jesus?
No, that's the thing. Like, I've been an atheist since I was really young. Like, I was raised to be an atheist. I just clearly did not have enough comprehension skills to realize what was going on. And I got to like 16 and was like, "Oh, that's Seventh Heaven, man!" Like, I wasn't a smart kid.
That happens. There's been a few songs I've listened to.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's really beautiful. That's really
Yeah,
sweet. And then
yeah.
you realise it's about God and not a person of,
Yeah.
someone that you'd be interested in.
Yeah, totally.
And you're
totally.
like, oh, that's weird now.
Yeah, I can't
It's
enjoy
weird
that
that,
song.
weird that you're talking about
Yeah.
God like your significant other.
I had that realization, but not about Jesus, but about what was my favorite book series.
Narnia?
The Belgariad and the Malorian.
Ah, yeah.
And I sort of like looked back at it when I was like, again, probably like 15, 16. That was a big year for me. I realized a lot of things. And I just went, oh yeah, it's really racist. Like, really.
Yeah.
The bad guys are basically anyone from the Middle East and the Chinese.
Oh, so it's like real life.
It's like real
That's
life.
a joke. I need to make it super clear that was a joke.
Unless they were French, in which case that would not be a joke from me.
It's different.
Do you not like the French?
No, I think it's okay to mock the French. That's all I said.
He's a
Well,
racist.
it can't be racist because they're both white.
At least I'm not a spacist.
Hang on, no.
No, yeah,
You
no.
can't be racist to white people. No, you can't.
I can.
No,
I'm pretty
reverse
good at
racism
it.
does not exist.
No. My problem with that is the idea of race. Like,
Would you like a baguette? Are you sure I can't be racist to French people? I'd like you to think about it really seriously. Because I can be very racist!
Oh, Matt.
If you're not lucky,
The
I'll do my
class.
Sylvester Stallone impression as
Yeah,
well.
no, I've had your Sylvester Stallone impression.
Yeah. Everyone's heard it because it's great.
I played it for Daniel, and he was just like, oh, God.
Matt, I'd also like to point out, I've just noticed, TV's new Superman
yes.
was on 4 seasons of Seventh Heaven.
Oh, well,
Who
there
was
you go.
it?
He played Martin Brewer.
Yeah, I know who that is. No. Comprehension really low at that age.
Anyway, the guy who played Mr. Wilton, his filmography includes films with names like Angel Road, Killer Kids, The Dead Want Women,
Sorry, what?
The Dead Want Women.
I do a podcast about
I'm
that.
opening it up in a separate tab while
Thank
I
you.
keep going.
Thank you, I appreciate
The
it.
Rig, Dark Waters, Deep Shock, Pray Another Day,
Is-
Dragon Fighter,
Oh! Open that one!
Python 2, Shark Hunter.
I'm noticing a theme. Also, I really hope Dark Waters is another movie made at a water park.
That's his thing.
It's his thing. It's his specialty. Like, it's on his resume. I am really good in water park scenes.
Okay, let's do Dragon Fighter first.
Right.
Workers in an underground lab fight for their lives against a cloned dragon
God.
they created.
Yep, cool. All right.
Is this like the first
With
Pokemon
Dean
movie?
Cain.
What?
Dean Cain!
This movie stars
everywhere!
Dean Cain.
Okay, we need to get that
We
out.
need to get a copy of Dragon Fighter 2003. That's
That's
true.
amazing.
Beginning in a stylish mansion in the roaring 1920s, a socialite, flappers, and the men who love them come to their ultimate demise. These ghosts continue to haunt the mansion throughout the decade. Now, they've come back to haunt and chase after a new generation of beautiful girls. The dead want women.
Oh no! Oh, why beautiful? No, don't
Dragon
answer
Fighter.
that.
Eric Roberts is in The Dead Want Women.
Okay, cool.
Who's
Let's.
that?
Julia Roberts' brother.
Really?
Yeah, he was the
So
master
the much lesser known Roberts.
I mean, he's reasonably well known.
I've never
Yeah.
heard of him before.
You know the Dark Knight?
Yeah.
Yeah, he plays not Falcone, Marioni, the one who Batman drops off.
He looks
the
like like this.
He doesn't look familiar to me.
Okay, he's like
He
reasonably famous. He's not as famous as Julia Roberts.
No, but pretty famous. He plays a lot of crime lords, basically.
So he's in
On
really
account of his
niche
face.
famous. Yeah, he's quite crime lordy.
I mean, look, I'm gonna say his IMDb page. He has like 30 things,
And they're all crime lords?
No, in post production right now.
Jesus.
Like he is not a man who is picky about his film roles. Including Q4 Dream Corporation, Surge of Power, Revenge of the Sequel. There is Many Like Us. Yes, I know. Something called Inferno by Dante, where he's Dante.
Oh my god, that sounds
Victory
amazing.
by Submission, The Red Maple Leaf.
Hey, quick question: how many of these are pornos?
Probably all
I would
of
think
them.
Because, like-
Victory by Submission, definitely.
Yeah,
yes.
the Red
Yeah.
Maple Leaf, I could see
I would
definitely.
say like an Oriental type, like, or a Canadian. One of the two. Like, it would be like an ethnic sort
Yeah.
of porno.
I'm going
They
to find out
exist,
some more
right?
information about the Red Maple Leaf, and then I think we have to get back to Power Rangers.
Okay.
The Red Maple Leaf also has Mira Sorvino, James Caan, Doris Roberts, the mum from Everybody Loves Raymond, Chris
I
Christopherson,
thought she
Margot
died.
Kidder, Mark Blucas, who was Riley
Shit.
on Buffy,
my
Martin
God.
Landau.
Wow.
Like, there's a lot of
Wait,
people in
didn't
the
the
Red
mum
Maple
from
Leaf.
Everybody Loves Raymond die quite recently?
I mean, look, that may not have stopped her from being in a movie this bad.
It's a corpse propped up on a
Oh.
stick.
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
Which is basically pretty much the same as watching Everybody Loves Raymond. Like, let's
Ooh,
just
sick, sick burn.
Don't, yeah, it's her final acting project. Are you
Oh.
pleased? This is the movie she died making.
Well, it's not The Crow, but like,
Oh. Everyone's a critic of the movies you star in before you die.
Okay, I feel like we have to get back to Power Rangers.
I need a minute.
Is everybody okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll get there. I'll pick up.
Alright, so, Bulk and Skull are also at the water park.
Yes.
They try to cut the line, but there's a big scary black
Oh,
man.
that guy was amazing.
Oh, we were so not very far into this episode. I was really in my mind
No,
like,
no,
we're
Matt,
almost
no.
there.
No, buddy, we barely started. We got on a big tangent.
Can I just pull up on Bulk and Skull? Why are they both dressed as Wesley Adams from the Addams family?
Because that's what kids look like when they go to the water park.
Well, they're punks, right? And when you're a small kid, being a punk means you're a pirate,
but
essentially.
why are they matching?
Because they're Bulk and Skull.
But they don't normally do that, do they?
I mean, I think when you come into your teenage years, you find your thing.
Okay, yeah, all right.
Self-differentiate a
fair
bit,
enough.
yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to point out, this episode was directed by Paul Schreier, who normally plays Bulk,
Ah.
as
there you
was
go.
next week's episode.
Oh, that's nice.
And he made it all about bulk.
I've got to assume that he didn't choose to do that, right?
Who knows on this show?
He may have written it as well as directed it.
If he turned up on set on the day, and the way this show worked was he went, okay, I think it should be about this. Scriptwriters, go. We'll start shooting. You catch up.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, okay, so we're going to the water park.
Yeah.
If you guys can beat us there in 20 minutes...
80% of the episode is just ad-libbed, and then like pulling it together at the end is actually written.
Did they actually pull it together at the end, though?
They did not do that, no.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So, meanwhile, downstairs on the moon,
Yep.
Goldar forgot to take the bomb, so Rita...
No. What did he forget to take?
the detonation device?
So he's got the bomb.
They've said bomb on the show before, right?
Yes.
Because they're working so hard not to say bomb right now.
Even though they're talking about a thing that's going to explode.
When was this episode aired?
Yeah, well, what happened between...
In between
yeah.
episodes.
This
That's an
was
interesting side
February 1996.
Oh, the
So-
great February 1996 bombing, of course.
Of course. Okay, so Rito and Goldar fight over which one of them will have the map because they've become a comedy double act now, I guess. So Rito tears it in half and gives them each a piece.
Don't you think you need to be performing comedy to be a comedy duo, though?
Well, Bulk and Skull, you know, they're a comedy duo. Well, trying to be. They're definitely not performing comedy.
I would say on occasion.
What
Bulk and
occasion?
Skull.
What occasion?
We've seen a lot more of this show than you have.
True.
There have been like 3 or 4 good Bulk and Skull lines in 150 episodes.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah, you're telling us.
Yeah.
Okay, so Bulk and Skull are being shits at the water park. They do one thing where they get like inner tubes and throw them.
I don't see that's how that's hurting. Like, it's like we don't want you to drown.
It's not great because they're like throwing something into the pipe. It's like,
But what they're throwing into the pipe
Helps them swim better.
and are devices that are designed to go in the pipe.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like it's a huge problem. They shouldn't be doing it, but the episode treats it much more severely than it probably
So
must.
severely.
Like I think even saying they shouldn't be doing it is almost stretching it. Like if that happened at the water park, someone might be like, "Hey, don't do that because I don't have a reason to say you can do that."
I just want to tell you what to do.
Yeah, but there's no risk there.
I mean, you could hit someone in the head and they could hit their head and drown.
Yeah, but those things aren't that heavy.
What's like? How hard is a inflatable balloon going to hit
if
you?
you-
Well, hard enough to scare monsters, Matt. We've seen that in the past.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
They're violent devices. It's like
Has this
using
happened
the
before?
power axe on someone.
Has this happened before?
Yes.
Because as soon as it started happening again, Matt was just like,
When they
no,
got turned into kids
no,
at the start,
no.
they fought off a monster by throwing inflatable toys at them.
Yeah, that makes sense now. Matt's
Yeah.
reaction when that came up on screen.
Yeah.
And then it happened again, and I was like, "This can't be happening."
So
It's too specific a dumb thing.
Billy goes over to Bulk and Skull and is like, "Kids, for fuck's sake, just grow up, okay? Like, literally, can we just get this whole thing
Yeah.
over with?"
I really feel for Billy in this episode. He's like a real trooper about it, but like, fuck, man, kids are horrible.
At which point, Bulk is struck by lightning and dies. It's horrifying.
Yeah, and that's the end of Bulk.
Yeah, forever. No, he gets turned into Brat Boy, who is...
He's like a game controller.
100% a video game monster, but
Yeah.
the show does not. I can only assume the production staff don't know video games.
I assume they've been described video games from like one of their children. Like
Right.
they've heard about it secondhand.
Yeah.
That's the thing I'm assuming.
He's also got a big old white head.
With a brain, exposed brain, like
I think
Zed
if
style.
someone said this is a video game monster to one of the producers, they would have been like, "But where's the Pac-Man? I don't see our Space Invader." and then assumed it's not a video game.
Why can't he say bleep and bloop? We're at his pong paddles.
That would be cool.
See, we're already improving upon it.
Yeah. So, it's time for them to fight
Brat Boy.
Brat Boy. But they can't, because they're just kids.
Yeah.
And Billy can't get in touch with Zordon because the communicator got wet. And that's how... For fuck's sake.
It
come
gets
on.
resolved really
Basically
quickly.
straight away.
Yeah, like it's like maybe 30 seconds, and he can for some reason contact someone. Maybe he
but
put it in like
here's-
rice. You
here's
know how
the
that
thing,
trick
right?
with an iPhone?
He doesn't have to contact Zordon. Zordon can see everything.
Yes.
And also, we see in the next scene, Zordon has seen what's happening.
Yes.
Is Zordon Santa?
No, Santa is a separate character in the Power Rangers universe who definitely exists, and we've been to the North Pole, and the Dino Charge Power
fuck
Rangers
this show.
helped him. But
Can I tell you something? There's
course.
very serious that you should know in your life. The morphing grid that supplies power to all Power Rangers.
Does it power Santa as well?
No.
Oh.
It gets a bit wonky around the North Pole. It doesn't really work at the
Okay.
North Pole because of Santa's magic.
Christmas magic interferes with the morphing grid, so
So-
you can't morph.
Sounds
with the,
very
if you're
scientific.
if you're ever at the North Pole, don't try morphing.
I'll keep that
Just
in mind.
go hang out with Santa instead.
Yeah.
because he's definitely real.
He's definitely real. Yeah. Cool.
Okay, so Zordon doesn't need to be communicated with, so why do they ever bother? He gets in touch with the Aquitians and says to them, "Hey guys, how are you doing? We could use a hand because the kids are about to have to fight a monster, and I guess I don't want 5 dead kids, so there's something you guys could do about that." And they're like, we're fully...
Like, we've been ready to go for a while now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
We
just
got a
kinda-
Gatorade.
We're watching Everywhere It Was Raymond.
We just love Raymond. Our wacky family here's, I wish he'd moved to a different house. That'd solve that problem. Anyway.
It is amazing how much of that show was a residential problem.
Yeah.
It's just like, move a few blocks up.
Yeah.
You'll be fine.
So the young Power Rangers grab some pool equipment in case they have to fight off Brat Boy.
Yep.
But
Which is when Matt starts just basically going, no. There might have been a please God no in there. I can't quite recall, but it was an intense
Oh, I was ready to
reaction.
beg, so probably.
Yeah.
Luckily, they don't have to do that because the Equations show up. And
The
they were
Aquatarans?
morphed and...
Yeah, they're actually pretty... It was a cool fight sequence, I thought. Like, fighting in the water
so there's
park.
some good stuff here
Yeah.
with, like, there's a nice shot that uses, like, the multiple levels of the rocks.
Yeah.
Where, like, Brat Boy is up high,
I
shooting
agree.
down.
Yeah,
and-
I actually thought they used the water park really well.
Here's my thing. With American fight footage in the show, anytime that they use landscape or like play equipment or anything in the environment, it immediately means that the fight for some reason has to be comedic.
Oh, yeah, no, it's not a good fight. I just
It's
thought
just like,
they
I don't
used the
understand why it
setting
couldn't
well.
have just been a good fight at the water park.
Like, at the end of it, they tip a bucket of water on him and send him down a slide.
Oh no!
Sure.
The best part is when he comes down the slide and they're all like with leis and like Hawaiian
That's pretty
drinks.
good.
That's pretty good.
Like
Yeah.
on lounging chairs. I was like, yeah.
One of them is giving another one a massage, like with
I
her
missed
elbows.
that.
Through
Yeah.
their suit. Yeah.
You do massages through clothes
Be super powered, you know, because they've got strength and such.
in their fingers.
Yeah, well, all of their bodies, I'd imagine.
I want a massage from a Power Ranger. That sounds great.
You gotta
It
be-
doesn't sound sexual. It's not sexual. I just
I
want
mean, it could be sexual. I'm not judging you.
Okay.
I mean, I'm always
No,
judging you.
well,
but
in that case, I'll take 8.
please don't be more specific now that you know that I'm not judging you. So, Rita and Zed are not happy with how their monster has been showed up. So
He's
they,
a disappointment to them. Yeah.
So they make him grow. He gets giant. He fucks around at the water park for a sec.
Can we just pause for a second about Brat Boy?
Mm-hmm.
He does this thing with the little joysticks on his feet when
Yes.
he's supposed to be going into supercharge, but he doesn't do anything even slightly
No,
different.
he's supercharged.
Like he does it when he is small and when he is big, and I kept on waiting. Like, okay, he's clearly got some really cool power happening. No, he does the exact same thing, and he
he's-
makes a big deal of it. He's like,
he's
"Oh,
got
it's
more
time to
charge.
supercharge." No, he's not.
Yeah, he's got more charge.
No, he doesn't have anything.
Yeah. He used to have less charge. and now
What
he's got more
amazes me
charge.
about this is I'm so sure that that was in the Sentai, and they saw that in the script. They're like, "Oh, cool, we can use that supercharged mode thing too," but don't have the like.
The cool power.
Well, they had the presence of mind to be like, okay, if we had a supercharged scene, we should follow it up with the result of that supercharged scene.
yeah.
Like they're so moment by moment in their lazy adaptation that they can't even cut out the bits that they can't handle.
He's just supercharged, guys. He's got more charge.
Yeah, no,
It's important.
it's not.
So he goes and just blows the shit out of the city.
Before that, there's a shot of him growing in the water park.
Yep.
And they do one of the American large shots, which is
Yeah.
really cool. In the foreground, they've got a model of the water park to
Yeah.
provide the context, and the umbrellas are cocktail umbrellas.
Yes,
It's adorable.
it was
It's
really
nice.
cute. Yeah.
It's like cheap, but
Yeah.
and like good enough for
But
the
cheap-
30 seconds that it's on screen,
Yeah.
and like
And-
But cheap in the way that it's endearing.
Yeah, I can
Like-
get behind that kind of cheap.
They could have made mini umbrellas, but the fact they were just like, let's just get cocktail umbrellas. There's something really endearing about that.
Yeah, I think so.
all right. So he's just blowing the shit out of the city.
He sure is.
Rangers summon their battle borgs. What did you think of the battle borgs?
I thought they just looked like Power Rangers. They weren't very exciting.
Yeah, that's the correct reaction to the battle books.
Cool. I'm glad I'm like in sync with everyone.
He just keeps blowing stuff up. They try to fight him.
They're terrible at fighting. Like, I'm sorry, but like they just keep on getting knocked over.
You're right. I can't explain that.
Like, why do they have them?
Sort of says something about the battle bogs being weak.
Yeah, I'll say. Like,
No, but like at that time weak. But there's no context given to why that is.
to why they're weak, and like maybe they're more powerful in Equatia.
No, we've seen the battle bogs before.
Afoot.
We've seen the battle bogs before, and they've been
Alright.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they suck. They just keep on getting knocked over.
If the Equations were dehydrated and having trouble fighting, sure, whatever. But their mental link is problematic with battle bogs. But they just got back from rehydrating.
Yeah, they're good to go.
They couldn't be any more peak.
Yeah.
It was dumb.
It's just they're having a bad day. You know, sometimes you just got an off day. You're like, oh...
But you can't have a bad day when you're, like, saving the world.
Jeez, that's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, well, don't choose to save the world, then.
Well, I mean, they were fine saving their own world, and then some fucking
From what?
tubehead-
Tuna?
Tubehead. You don't know what they're dealing with.
Probably tuna.
Maybe they had to summon alien rangers of their own to defend their world.
That's-
From a really
like-
big tuna?
Like, meta.
Maybe there's like a crocodile. There's scary shit in the ocean.
There's a lot of scary shit in the ocean.
That's
I've
true.
watched
Alright.
stuff.
They've got
Alright.
like a moon witch who's a squid lady. It's messed up.
That's
Oh,
not even
that's
scary
Ursula.
compared to what is actually in the ocean. Yeah.
It's messed up.
Yeah, the ocean's fucking messed up, man.
Yeah,
Don't
ocean's-
go there. Do not. We're Australians and we are endorsing do not go in the ocean.
I don't like the ocean.
It terrifies me.
You can go in there a little bit.
Yeah, like in the shallows. But like, stick to the shallows where everything cannot get you. Although-
Only most things.
But don't go to Western Australia and go in their beaches because their beaches are fucking terrifying.
Just don't go to Western Australia.
No, Western Australia on the land is okay, but just the water, it's terrifying.
Also, the Northern Territory, don't do it.
Yeah, don't
Crocodiles
swim in
will
the Northern Territory.
fuck you up.
They will fuck your shit up.
You guys think alligators are scary? You got nothing.
Yeah, you guys are weak.
Got nothing on crocodiles.
Yeah,
Some monsters.
beasts. Yeah.
Right, that's been our Mighty Morphin Alien Wildlife Danger. So, basically, they don't know how they're going to beat Brat Boy. And Billy's like, hey, what if we just talk to him?
Such a Billy response.
So
I hate
they
the show so much.
teleport 5 children into danger, which is the most logical thing that they could do. Just onto the ground, not even onto a building
Yeah.
or like...
Underneath the feet.
I mean, you
basically.
saw what he did to a building.
Yeah, I mean, look, nowhere's safe, but like... you
But
know.
like, at least he actually has to actively destroy the building. On the floor, he can just
Do it on
step on
accident?
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, whoops! I just killed the Rangers.
This sequence is so fascinating. They're like, hey, Bulk, remember being Bulk? Stop being a monster, be Bulk. He's like, huh, yeah, okay, I'll do that. And he turns back into Bulk.
That sounds reductive, but that's exactly,
That's exactly
what it
what
was.
happens. Like, I know that sounds like an exaggeration, like you know, Michael's making a joke here, but that is literally what happens in the episode.
Yep.
And then Rita and Lord Zed are like, no, fuck that, back into a monster. And they turn him into a monster. And
But
then,
he rebels against
well, then the
them.
kids are
Yeah.
like, hey, Bulk, stop doing that. I said stop it, okay? They spray it like a water bottle on his nose. Like,
They
no,
flick
roll
it
up a
back.
newspaper,
Newspaper!
rub his face in it. Right? Like, no, Bulk,
in
bad
the
Bulk.
destroyed building.
And Lord Zed says, no, destroy the Power Rangers. And Brad Boy is like, no one tells me what to do. Shoots a laser at the moon.
Yeah.
Which, you know, why didn't he do that in the first place at Earth? You
No,
would wonder.
no.
Okay.
He hits the Moon Palace. The aim involved in, like...
The thing is, he hits the roof just above Rita and Zed's head. It's like, as I'm sure you're about to say, such incredible aim, but then just off.
Like,
You know?
both of those things constantly spinning through space. Like, the moon shouldn't really be visible from where they are in the middle of the day anyway. So he's like...
I
guess
wouldn't get hung up on the
he's
science of
arcing
this.
it somehow.
Yeah, no.
And to just miss by a meter.
Yeah. That's gotta hurt at that point.
Yeah. And, like, he didn't
But
sit
maybe
down...
he didn't want to kill them. Maybe he just wanted to get them to back off. It's sort of like a
Maybe.
teenage son. Like, doesn't want to kill his parents. He just wants, like, his parents to leave him alone and let him do his own thing.
And so then he turns back into a kid.
Yeah.
And now he's Bulk again.
And then Rita's all like, remind me never to have kids. He doesn't remind her, spoiler warning.
Oh, wait, they have kids?
They have a child that we know about.
That makes no continuity sense logistically.
Is it a
but
pumpkin?
I could only wish that it was a pumpkin. I want everything on this show to be
Be
a
a
pumpkin
pumpkin,
that raps.
yeah.
That's all I've ever asked for.
Yeah.
Anyway, so as the Aquitar Rangers say, they prove that the heart and mind can be more powerful than any weapon.
I don't think that's...
Which explains why every episode they come out with their heart and mind and combine their heart and minds into a giant robot heart and mind, which they use to heart and mind the monsters.
This is sounding a lot like Captain Planet, which instantly improves the series
It's
by
not-
a lot.
It's not good. Anyway, they've got to go back to Aquitar because they're dehydrated.
I hate them so. I wanted to come into this.
One thing I
This
will say,
miniseries.
though, is that they... You know how they have those little, like, in-sync movements?
Yes.
it's more acting than I've ever seen on this show in
totally.
one moment. Like it's some nice, choreographed movement, and
They
it is
do
more
feel
than anyone
like
has.
aliens.
They do.
Yes.
Like it's
Just
more. It's,
shitty aliens.
Just the worst alien.
yeah, but I mean, yeah, like it's actually more acting than I've ever seen on this show in the partial 150 episodes I have seen.
It's just like in their moment of dire need, the Power Rangers called upon the only allies they could find, 6 Magikarp.
I like to
And the Magikarp just go like flop, flop, flop. Help her out of water.
splash.
Splash. It's not
I like
very
to
effective,
think-
you guys.
They called. Well, it does nothing. That's
Sorry,
what
I'm
happens.
so sorry.
You should be.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Guys, this isn't a Pokemon podcast.
Oh, can it be a Pokemon podcast?
No.
But I know so much about Pokemon, and I know nothing about. I know more about Pokemon than both of you put together.
Yeah, that you say that, but your double kick advice to me last night was
felt
way off base.
terrible. I felt so bad. But to be fair, it does learn double kick in level 9 in something. It's just not red and blue, so I did. Maybe it's fire red and leaf green.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe.
maybe. It didn't help
Lauren
you.
gave Matt some bad advice about Pokemon, and Matt
I
will never let her live it
Gave
down.
him good advice in the sense I said,
Well,
get
no,
a
hold on.
No.
No. It's not good advice if it doesn't apply to the thing that he's playing.
No, getting a Nidoran
Like, if
male.
you gave
Getting
him-
a
if you
Nidoran male
gave him-
is the best possible thing to do if you have a Charmander starter.
If you gave
in
him
Pokemon
good advice for
Red.
Super Smash Brothers, it might be good advice, but it doesn't help Matt playing Pokemon Red. I think we can all agree that.
I still think it was good advice, and anyone who knows about Pokemon Red will agree with me that the best way to get through that game, if you start with a Charmander, is with a Nidoran male.
What just like really charmed me about it was that it wasn't level 9, it was level 42. Like it was such a
I was so
off.
far off.
So I
it
like if
does
I had
look-
have just kept going and be like, it'll come soon. I would have been running around Pallet Town until level 42.
Level 42, and then you're like, oh,
I got it. I can finally proceed.
Right, yeah. But Nidoran male is still a great Pokemon. You would have had a Nidorino at that point, not a Nidoking, because there's no Moonstone in Pallet Town.
I mean, I could have just not let him evolve because I'm like, no, I might miss out on double kick.
But yeah, Pokemon is better than Power Rangers. Can we please do that as a podcast?
No, you can do that as a podcast.
I'm going to.
We already have a podcast.
Listeners, if you like the idea of me doing a Pokemon podcast, please comment or email or...
Dude, we could 100% spin you off. And
Yeah, I can do a Pokemon podcast.
Yeah.
Poke Lauren.
Can we not-
That's the name of the podcast.
Can we not call it Poke Lauren? Like,
No, Poke Lauren. There's an acute over the E.
yeah,
that makes it French. yeah,
yeah, can we not? No.
Lauren.
Yeah, it still sounds creepy.
It's not meant to not sound creepy. The French are all creepy. Anyway,
God, my
so the Rangers have got to go back to Aquitar.
Yeah.
And at the same time, the regular Power Rangers, they've got to go to the command center because Zordon has news. Before we get to that, Rito and Goldar are lost underneath the command center.
Yep.
Rito sets the map on fire. I guess they're going to be there for 6 more episodes.
6 more seasons.
Or we may never see them again.
God, that'd be the best.
Like, at the end of Power Rangers in space, someone goes to those tunnels, they just
They
see
find their corpses.
Rito's skeleton,
Yeah.
which is just Rito, and Goldar's skeleton. And it's just like, oh, when did that... Ooh.
When did that happen?
What
Anyway.
struck me was how much those hallways look like the hallways of the TARDIS.
Yep.
Just because it was clearly we don't actually know how this building works, so here's some hallways.
They've got very smoky... Do the people who make this show think all caves have smoke on the ground? Because I'm not going to say that I've been in a lot of caves.
I've been in a
I
lot
have.
of caves.
Okay,
yeah.
how many of them had ground smoke?
None.
I will say one had some ground fog,
Okay.
but that out of the sample
Not
size...
100%.
I've been
no.
in maybe like 8 caves, and I can say that quite accurately because I'm a little bit claustrophobic.
Sure.
I have never seen actual cave fog / smoke /
I'm not going
dry
to
ice.
deny it's really cool when you see it.
Where did you
Sure.
see it? What cave?
It might have been Wambian Caves.
I've never been to those caves. Yeah,
Those
that's
caves
probably
are
why.
full of smoke. Everyone
Yeah,
says
they're
that.
smoked up.
It was more, I think, a river opens
Yeah.
into the cave, and it was winter, and down there it gets so cold.
So cold,
And I think it
yeah.
was maybe the steam.
See, I don't think
getting
I've ever been to the caves in winter, so maybe that's part of it.
Yeah,
Mostly summer. Or like non-winter.
I love caves. Can we do a podcast about caves?
Can we not? I'm a little bit claustrophobic.
We're going to call it Caver Matt.
Yeah, you've got terrible names.
You know what? That one's kind of growing on me.
Caver Matt?
Caver Matt.
No.
It's Matt as a caver.
Alright.
Caver Matt. Got a caver. It's Matt and Matt.
In some caves.
He knows it's his destined cave. Look, I'm not saying that I have to ad-lib an entire podcast straight away, okay? It's Matt's podcast about caves.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's only one thing that can restore the Earth. What is it, Matt?
It is the Zeo crystal, or the fragments of the Zeo crystal.
That's something that we've seen in the past on this show.
Sure.
They split it up and sent it through time and space.
Continuity.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's a surprising amount, really. So they're going to have to go get it.
Yeah, I bet they feel super dumb about breaking into 5 pieces
If
and
only
sending
they
through
just
space and time.
Why
kept
don't
it
you
in a
just give
room
one-
somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the storeroom with the rest of the, the power coins.
Anyway, so they did split it up and send it through time and space.
Yep.
But it emits like power and energy signature, so they can track it down.
Cool.
So what was the point of splitting it through time and space at all? Why couldn't...
They also said quite explicitly at the time, we've done it, so even we don't know where it's going.
Why? Why would you not want to know where it's going? Don't you own it?
I mean, I guess, like, in the adult version of Power Rangers, it would be because if they get tortured, they don't want to reveal the location of the incredibly powerful...
Or turned evil.
That's okay. That's probably the more appropriate version, sure.
But anyway, so they've got to go get it.
Yep.
And Billy's like, hey, those guys are all kids. Why don't I just do it? But
He gets shut down hard.
so the Zeo crystal, when they touch the crystal, will re-age them. But because Billy is already an adult, it won't work on him. It doesn't really explain why he can't get
Collect it and just give it to someone else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So...
And I mean, all the adults are going to have to be... Or the other kids are going to have to regrown
Yes,
as well.
everybody on the planet.
So it doesn't really matter who instigates the process, right?
No, but let the Zeo quest begin.
Yeah! Are we getting psyched for Zeo Quest?
Hype, hype.
I guess vaguely? I'm not psyched for it. I don't know what it is.
I mean, I know vaguely. But most importantly, it means that in 5 episodes we'll be at Power Rangers Zeo.
I have to say, I'm impressed at the amount of legwork they're doing to, like, make this an actual transition.
Yeah, I'll tell you why. Because they were freaking out about changing the suits of the Power Rangers
I
into a
can
completely
only
new design.
okay.
And that, like, in their minds, they're like, we don't know if Power Rangers works if we do this. They're not going to look like the Power Rangers anymore. Turns out kids don't give a shit.
No, as long as they're in multicolored things with giant robots that destroy stuff,
Yeah.
who cares?
I think if just giant robots, kids are happy.
Yeah, largely.
Yeah, but it's, like, we're 5 episodes out. In the past, they would have just showed up at the start of Zeo and been like, yeah, we found this crystal.
Here's a Zeo thingy.
Where are
I found
Zeos?
them in the storeroom.
Where are Zeos?
Go Zeos! Happy Zeo! Aye, you look like Zeo. I don't know. But look, I'm impressed. I can't imagine the next 5 episodes will be holding up, but
Oh god, no.
we'll see. They'll go on a bit of a Zeo quest. A quest for those Zeos.
It was an interesting 30 seconds of a horrendous otherwise 20 minutes.
And then we're done.
We're done.
So, Lauren, we have a new 3-point scale. It used to be Power Rangers, but now it's aliens. So the best alien is Superman.
Yeah.
The worst alien is the aliens from the War of the Worlds.
Yeah.
And the neutral aliens are the neutral people from Futurama. So was this episode a Superman, a neutral people, or a War of the Worlds?
I would
Hard
say,
War of the
I would
Worlds.
say neutral just because of the possibility that of the Zeo quest. No? Matt heartily disagrees based on his face.
I don't feel like you could make a terrible episode and then at the end be like, but maybe the next one will be a good one! And have that count as
That's
you
what
did
this
an
whole
okay episode.
show does.
I think that's fair, Matt. I think...
Alright, I will concede neutralness.
Alright, so that's a neutral people. Now, let's talk Ranger Danger Creature feature.
Scroll down, Michael, scroll right down.
Yeah,
My
all
list
the way
is
down the
actually
bottom.
the other way around. So
Scroll up, Michael, scroll right
Alright,
up.
is he worse than Professor Longnose?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Professor Longnose is currently the worst monster.
Yep.
Do you think Brat Boy was the worst
I
monster
agree.
in all of
He
Power
was
Rangers
terrible.
history?
The worst one. Just because, first of all, he was so clearly a video games monster. That's interesting. Kids love video games.
Yep.
How do you get to Brat Monster?
That's because kids love video games. So
that was strike one.
yep.
Him supercharging himself with the dials on his feet,
And
making you
doesn't
think,
do anything?
Yeah, because that maybe like, oh, maybe he has a gimmick. He doesn't.
No
Bow.
gimmick. No gimmick.
Strike three is that he's not actually defeated by the Zords at
No,
all.
he's defeated by love.
Yeah,
No, he's defeated by having
by a shitty script.
no. I would say by a
All the
tantrum.
monsters in this show are defeated by a shitty script.
True.
He was defeated by the 9-year-old tantrum.
There you go.
Worst.
Yeah,
Job
bottom.
done. Okay. Worse than Professor Long. Professor Long knows you did not last very long as the worst monster.
No.
All right. We will be back next week with What Are You Thinking?
Yay!
Man, I hope it's a good monster at least because it's been a woeful showing.
I hope
for
it's at the
monsters.
water park again.
I'd be down for that.
I'm liking the water parks.
Or maybe we could just go to a water park instead of watching Power Rangers.
Yes! Wet and Wild.
All right.
Could
On that note,
live stream that on the YouTubes.
we couldn't do that. You don't know how to do that, and I don't want to do
I've
that.
seen YouTube.
Okay.
I'm halfway there.
We'll be back next week, guys.